Hey everyone, McLean Warren here with Liaison Marketing. I thought I would do a video today. It's kind of a tutorial video actually, because I find that a lot of our clients really don't know how to set up their backend in Seller Central, specifically in the keywords and more details pages. I think a lot of the misconstrued information is that those fields don't matter or they don't operate the way that Amazon really utilizes them. And it's important that they're filled out correctly, because if they're not only will you miss out on ranking opportunities organically, your PPC won't perform the way it's meant to. The suggestions that your auto PPC recommends won't align to what actually helps your product, and that's going to make it so you're spending a lot more on PPC. So it's really, really important that your Seller Central is filled out correctly. And I'm not going to go into every single detail, but what I did want to go into, like I said before, is how the keywords, how you can find the keywords, or at least certain sections of the keywords, and also why the more detailed section is so important. So for the sake of just having an example, I decided to do baby diapers. So I'm sorry, baby diaper bags actually. So here I type in baby diaper bags, not diaper bags. And I'm just going to click on one of the top ones that comes. Okay, so this guy looks pretty good. We're typing on this company. Now, before we do anything, you need to understand what browse nodes are. Browse nodes are the subcategories with which the product is cataloged underneath. So it starts with your category, which is this section right here. This is a lot of misconception on a lot of people's behalf. But this section right here is your categories. Sorry, I can't talk. This section is your department. And from those sections, it funnels down into smaller and smaller subcategories until you're finally in the category that you should be listed under, or hopefully you're listed under the right one. Now, if you don't know how to find which browse node you're in, you go up to your URL and you look at the canonical URL section, which is in between Amazon.com and your detail page right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and highlight that and erase it. Make sure there's only one dash there and push enter. Now this should bring up the browse node, which is right here. Baby products is the category, diapering, and then it goes into diaper bags. So 99.9% of all diaper bags should be in here. I think there might be one for travel, but for the most part, it's going to be in here. So the question becomes, okay, so now that we know that, how do we fill out Seller Central, and how does this relate to the keywords? So first, what we're going to do is not go there. I don't know why it's doing that for me. Sorry, guys. My computer's tweaking out. I'm going to click on diaper bag. Okay, so this is a subcategory with which all diaper bags should be cataloged under. Now, if you look up at the URL code, there's something called the ID node. It's always a number and it falls after the word node. So if you want to make sure that you're in the right category node, then this is a good reference point. So I am going to come back to this because it's going to be relevant in a minute. But let's go toward the back end of Seller Central and let's look at keywords and how we should be filling that out. So I am going to go to Amazon. This is a dummy account. It's one we just pulled off of, so no worries about revealing any information from people. So clearly, as you can tell, in the keyword section, none of this is filled out. All right. Now I'm going to take a real product, which again, I'm trying not to show who the product is, but I'm going to go over here to the search bar. Now in that search bar, you have what's called the product classifier and the BTG. And both of those are very valuable with regards to filling out your fields correctly and making sure that they are verifiable and viable ones. So I am going to go to the BTG guide. And since we know we're doing baby diapers, I'm going to go to classify my product. And you can do this through the product classifier too, especially if you're using a flat file, but this is probably easier. So there are different ways you can go about doing this, but I'm trying to show you the easiest way. So then you're going to go into inventory file template, and we are going to cruise down to babies because that is the category we are under. All right, so we have baby here. We're going to click on the file template first. And once this populates, we're going to open this up. Okay, so this is instructions on how to fill out your flat file, but you don't necessarily need it for that purpose. What we're trying to accomplish is to figure out what the valid values are for our keywords. So to be clear, this does not apply to your search terms, and it doesn't have to apply to your subject matter. This really is mostly for your target audience, your other attributes, and your intended use. So I'm going to click over here on valid values because a lot of people don't fill this section out right. For example, if you're selling, I don't know, let's say you think parents is a good target audience for a diaper bag, or you think babysitters is. A lot of people fill out those kinds of words, but those aren't ones that are recognized by Amazon. So what you're going to do is scroll through here, and what we're looking for is for the target audience first. Now, to be clear, this is not the same one. This target gender, that is for your more detailed section. So don't get it confused. That is not the section we're looking for. It'll actually say keywords on the side, as you'll see, and it's just your target audience is what we're looking for. So here, I guess I'll just kind of jump back a minute. If you go to intended use, this actually gives you the intended uses for this particular product or for this particular category. So some of them may not apply, some of them will, but those are the ones you want to focus on when you fill out your intended use. You have 5 sections, pick 5 of those. If there's absolutely ones that don't make sense, then go ahead and trust your instinct and go for something else. But as best as you can, choose one of those, because this is how Amazon is cataloging your product and how it is grabbing your auto PPC recommendations. Okay, so those are intended uses. Now, as I said before, we're going to go toward target audiences, which again, you have to scroll through a lot of this stuff. So here we have target audiences. Again, you don't see babysitters in here. You don't even see parents in here. Okay, these are the options that they give you. So make sure when you fill out the section that you're choosing 5 of these options, because this is what Amazon recognizes as important target audiences within the baby category. Okay, so now that we have that part figured out, one of the other things that I want to show you, but it's not going to be in this section. I'm actually going to close this out. So let me go ahead and close that out. I'm going to go back into here. So again, the target audiences, I forget what was up there, but let's just say it was toddlers, and then I add another one, which was mom, add more adult. And again, please guys, make sure that when you're filling these out, you're adding just 1 word per line. A lot of people do commas or they do full lists here, and Amazon does not register like that. So it has to be 1 word per line, okay? And most categories, except for maybe like dogs and clothing, I believe, have 5 of each. So you should be good in that way. The search terms, again, those are words that you're going to have to figure out by doing keyword research. A lot of people think that you use keyword phrases for the section, but that's not true. That's not how Amazon reads this particular section. It should be individual words, 250 characters, no repeats, no ors, ifs, thes, no special characters, just plain keywords, okay? And then again, for the other attributes, I believe in that last file I sent you, there is a section that says other attributes, so you can add those there. And then here for used for is the same as the intended use. So for some reason, this category says used for, but most categories it's going to say intended use. And as I showed you in that last flat file or that Excel file, it gives you options for the 5 intended uses you want. But they're used interchangeably. It's the same thing. Don't get confused. Now, my other thing I wanted to talk about was subject matter. Now, subject matter does rank, okay? It indexes and it ranks, and it is important that you do your keyword research to make sure that this is filled out. But you also want to make sure that it is applicable to what the product is, does, and what the features are, okay? So if you have this and you don't even have the word baby in there or diapers or anything like that, then you might be missing out on an opportunity to have the subject matter make sense. Another really important thing is if you are going to do keywords like phrases, you want to use a dash in between. So they even give this example on Amazon if you look into it, but say you want to do 4th of July, they actually want you to type in 4th of July. Okay, if you type it in, sorry, I can't spell 4th clearly. If you type in 4th of July like that, it will not register as one keyword. So you do need those hyphens in between for that to be constituted as a keyword phrase. All right. So the last section I wanted to explain was the more detail section. This section is specifically related to, and I think my camera's in the way, so I'm going to move that over. That is related to this refinement funnel over here, okay? Now, in this particular category, well, they do have pattern. You'll see that in some categories, you'll have tons and tons of refinement sections, whereas others you won't. In this particular category, it seems like there's only pattern. So you don't really need to fill out as much in this one. But just to give you an example, if I go to, I just happen to know that most kitchenware has tons of refinement sections. So if I type in coffee mug, and it should be, no, because we're not in coffee mugs yet. So again, I am going to find the browse node by erasing the canonical URL, which is here. I'm going to click under, this is obviously housed under travel mugs and tumblers, so I'm going to click on that. And now we are in this particular node for travel mugs and tumblers. There's your node ID number, which is important now and something I'm going to get to. But if you look over here under these refinement fields, what this allows a customer to do is to click on the attributes that they want for their products. So they don't have to sift through like pages and pages of Amazon SERPs. They literally can just say, oh, I want one that's 10 ounces, and I want one that is insulated, and I want one that's purple, and I want one that's dishwasher safe. So what it does is once you narrow it down, it shows you the coffee mugs that specifically have been tailored in their more detail section to recognize those. So if your more detail section is not filled out correctly, then you're not going to be found when people use refinements because you haven't set it up for that. So if I go back to Amazon and I go to more details, this section needs to be filled out. Now, as a caveat to this, I have to explain that the more detail section is for the entire category. So there's going to be a lot of fields that don't really make sense. Like I believe because this is in kitchenware, they have something like blade size or blade, and obviously it's for a knife, right? And it's not going to be something that's relevant to our product. So a trick to figure out which ones you want to, which sections that you do need to fill out so that you can be found in refinement funnels we are going to go back to, I want to say, is it manage inventory? No, we're going to go back to the BTG guide, and I'll show you what it looks like for baby and for coffee mugs, since we did both. But for you to find out what the refinement funnel section is, you go over to this one, the baby BTG. Again, it's going to populate an Excel sheet. And in here, why is it doing that? Oh, it's because this is in the way. Sorry, guys. In here, you will go to this section. And you can directly copy. So if we're in diaper bags, I'm going to copy this node number here just to make life a little easier. And I'm going to go back to the Excel sheet here, F, plug it in here, and it scrolls down to the section here. So as you can see, there's the ID node, there's the name of it. Let me make this a little bit bigger so people can see. You're going to go down to item type, which is diaper bags. And then as you scroll here, if you click on see available, this is where you can find out about your refinement funnels and how many you need to fill out. So if you look in here, remember how on the front screen I showed you just a pattern? Here it shows you that, yes, pattern is the only funnel that it recognizes for refinement funnels. If we were to do the travel mugs, let's grab this one. So I'm grabbing the ID node and I'm back in here. Oh, actually I'm in baby, so that didn't work. I need to go back to, I need to go to home and kitchen. There we are. So again, we open this up, we're gonna go into this field, push F, look for it. Boom, there you have your travel mugs and tumblers. There's your item keyword. And then if you click on see attributes, then you can see that there's a lot more refinement options than there are for baby bags. So it pretty much, it's just a really good guide for you to not have to fill out your entire more detail section. You can actually narrow down that, okay, these are the 6 fields I need to fill out so that I show up in refinement funnels. And then you can take that and populate your page here. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. I know I kind of covered a lot really fast and it can be kind of confusing, but hopefully you found some value in there. And if not, as always, I always suggest asking a professional for help if you're not 100% sure on how to do this, because making sure that your Seller Central is filled out is as important as making sure that your engine of the car is working, because if the engine isn't working, your car is not going to leave the garage. And that is very true of your listing on Amazon. All right. And feel free to check us out at liaisonmarketing.com or find me on Facebook. All right. Thanks.